In 2019, I was making about 55,000 Canadian dollars a year and saving 30% of my income. In 2022, I made quite a bit more than that and saved 40% of my income. A survey that was done in 2022 by New York Life found out that Americans are aiming to save an average of $5,700 in 2022. We all know that 6K doesn't go a long way these days. It might cover your life for 3-4 months, but if you live in a city like Toronto, it's only enough for about 2 months. It can't be counted as an emergency fund, let alone to allow you to save up for your dreams like a down payment or a vacation. With the recession on its way, or maybe it already started, having savings will be crucial in 2023, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. Before we start, I must say that I've never had debt, which I'm very thankful for. And if you do have debt, it's definitely a more difficult financial situation to be in. But I hope that the insights that you find in this video are still applicable and helpful to you. Number one, whatever you're doing, having a goal is crucially important. A goal is not always meant to be reached. It often serves simply as something to aim at. This is all to say that setting a goal should be your very first step. Now that we have our goal straight in our heads, there are two ways that you can increase your savings. Increase your income or decrease your spending. We will talk a little bit about increasing your income, but I think it deserves a whole separate video. For the majority of this video, we will focus on decreasing spending and some tips and tricks that I can recommend to you. Now, when it comes to increasing your income, every situation is very different. So I'll just talk about my experience, and I hope that you find something that is helpful to you. When I was making $55,000 a year in 2019, 50,000 of that, so the big chunk of it, came from my 9-to-5 job. The other 5,000 came from tutoring on the weekends. I understand math decently well, so I tutored high school kids and university students, and they paid me $40 an hour, and that's how I was able to make $5,000 in a year. Unfortunately, right now, I can't talk about the exact number of my salary, but I moved from being a social media specialist or publisher in 2019 to content strategist, and now I'm a senior manager of content strategy. So you can see how my career has progressed, and with it, of course, my salary. So this is one thing that you can do definitely, is to continuously have promotions, switch jobs, whatever it is that is helping you gain the right experience and increase your salary. However, I am still supplementing my income. These days, both my husband and I work with small businesses and offer marketing services. Each business brings us from $300 to $800 every month. We find those clients ourselves, and we offer the services ourselves as well. And some of them have been working with us for over 2 years. If you want me to dive deeper into that, how we found those clients and all that, I would be happy to tell you in another video, or how I moved from being a publisher to a senior manager in 3 years. I would be happy to make a video about that too, so just let me know in the comments. Now, let's move on to decreasing your spending. I have 7 solid tips that are really helping me when it comes to saving myself. So number one, and I think it's the most important one, is setting priorities. If you are thinking that your priorities in terms of spending money are food, entertainment, getting manicures, gaming, alcohol, that's a no. You have to pick 1 or 2 of these things and prioritize them. The other ones would have to be, put kind of on the back burner for now. In my case, it's good food and travel, and that's what I prefer to spend my money on. It might be hard at first, but you have to think that if you stick with it pretty consistently for 1 to 2 years, you will be able to add a little bit more to your priority list later on. Budget. Another major one is a budget. I would honestly start with a spreadsheet. You have to write down for 2023, what are you spending every month? From your rent and utilities to entertainment and food, count all of that up. And then in a separate table, write down how much money you want to be saving. According to that number, you will have to adjust how much money you're actually spending. So let's say it's, the amount you're spending is a little too much to be able to save the amount that you want. In that case, the first tip that I talked about when it comes to setting priorities, you will have to decrease the amount that you're allocating to other things. Intentional planning. If you know me in person, you know that I plan everything. And that's honestly very closely tied to not just my personality, but also my budget and me caring for my budget. For example, you probably won't see me going to the movies on any other day of the week apart from Tuesdays, because Tuesdays are the discounted days. My husband and I, during Boxing Day, we planned what we want to buy for the summer, all the essentials, and we bought them during Boxing Day to make use of the discounts. Things like that can add up to hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Another one that is slightly more practical, that's watching out for subscriptions. I can't tell you how many times we've subscribed for something to just have a free trial or for just 1 month to enjoy a show, but then we forgot to cancel it, and that would end up costing us $10, $20, $100. So just be aware of all of your subscriptions, make sure that you cancel them on time, and only keep the ones that are really important to you. Another one that might be a little bit uncomfortable for some people, but it's about gifts and presents. Be very direct about gifts and presents with your loved ones. I started practicing this a few years ago. I talked to all of the people that I normally get gifts from, and I just told them that, it would make a lot more sense for me to just receive practical gifts. So if you're okay with me telling you what I want, or if it's just a monetary gift, that would work much better for me, or if it's a gift card, whatever you prefer. And that really allows me to save a lot on my spending. Credit card points. My husband and I started choosing our credit cards according to the points that they give in 2021 and in 2022. And we've had our Amex Bonvoy card, the card that allows you to save points to go on vacations in eligible Marriott hotels. By the way, it's not just Marriott, it's sometimes it's quite cheap hotels, very expensive hotels. There's a wide variety on their website. And in a year, we were able to save up for approximately 5-star, 7-day vacation. So that's a great way, again, to decrease your spending on vacations. There are many other cards, and I recently started using a new one. So if you'd like to learn about them, drop a comment. I would love to talk to you about that too. And the last one, the seventh one, another very practical one, is a savings rate. Take a look at your bank account, see what savings rate you're getting. In my previous video, I was saying that I found out a few years ago that my RBC savings rate was just giving me 0.25%, which is almost nothing. And then I learned about EQ Bank, which gives 2.5%, quite a bit more than RBC. So if you're not very comfortable with investing and you just need some money sitting in your bank, like I do, honestly, my emergency fund needs to be in my bank account, it's much better if you put it in something that has a higher savings rate. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any other recommendations, let's start a conversation in the comments. Thank you again so much for tuning in, and please subscribe.